Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race at Monmouth Park on Sunday is race number 10. It is the $150,000 Pegasus Stakes. 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. The local prep for the Haskell and the return of Maximum Security, one of, if not the very best, 3-year-old in the country. You can play this nice Monmouth card on Sunday with a DRF Bets account. Deposit $100, bet with $250 at bets.drf.com. Let's meet the field for the $150,000 Pegasus. Again, they're going a mile and a 16th. Maximum Security has finished first in all 5 of his races. Of course, the controversial disqualification in the Kentucky Derby. He is the speed nearest the rail at Monmouth, which is always a good thing. Mike, does it bother you that Jason Service was waffling earlier in the week, saying, I don't really love the way he looks. Let's get some blood work done. We'll run him anyway.
Yeah, it bothers me. I guess that bothers me a little bit. It bothers me more that this is the race that he's actually running in as his next start after the Kentucky Derby. It doesn't make any sense to me. On the other hand, this horse has run 5 times. He's looked really, really good winning all 5 of those races, and he just sort of towers over this field right now. This seems to me like they're taking the path of least resistance to get to the Haskell, and we'll see how that works out for them.
But certainly he has been super impressive, and his last 3 Beyer speed figures, far and away, are better than anything the rest of the field has ever run. So someone else is going to have to step up, and he's going to have to take a step backwards if he's going to drop the Pegasus on Sunday. The Timeform Pace Projector has Maximum Security, unsurprisingly, out there on the lead. That's how he likes to run. You see King for a Day for Todd Pletcher sitting next to him. Last Judgement is down towards the inside. He's kind of the other Pletcher in this field. Were you surprised that they cut him back in the Pat Day Mile after that win at Oaklawn first time around 2 turns? You would think that Todd would have found another spot, maybe another 2-turn race, sort of a prep to get him going, but they cut him back to a mile.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he did sprint effectively early on, so maybe Todd's just really trying to figure out, what he's best at. His Pate Mile wasn't a great performance, so we'll see if he can rebound in here. He won that 2-turn race at Oaklawn. I thought he was more game than anything else. I wasn't blown away by the win. To me, he looks like he's in awful tough here, especially if he's going to race Maximum Security early.
Hog Creek Hustle, the runner-up of the Pat Day, of course, came back to win the Grade 1 Woody Stevens with a 95 Beyer speed figure. Here's a Pletcher formulator fact for Last Judgment. Past 3 years, 3-year-old dirt routers, second off the layoff, non-graded stakes, 39% winners, 14 of 18 on the board, $4.01 ROI. Todd's other runner in this race is the 3, King for a Day, and I really liked the way he won his maiden at Belmont. He beat a good horse in Kentucky Wildcat, who unfortunately got hurt earlier this year. I really liked his effort in the Kentucky Jockey Club, where he made this big, wide, early bid to the front, and then he stayed on gamely. And I really liked his Sir Barton, his first start of the year. I know it wasn't a fast race. He got bumped a bit at the start. He pushed the pace. He won in workmanlike fashion. I think that is a nice stepping stone to a race like this. The question is, can he handle Maximum Security?
Right, that is the question. I agree with everything you said about him. I think this is going to turn out to be a really good horse. And as a matter of fact, I think he'll probably wind up being Pletcher's best 3-year-old this year. I don't know if he's going to be able to beat Maximum Security in this race. I guess that's the real question. But there's nothing to knock about what he's done. He should get a relatively good trip in this race because he's got speed. If Maximum Security loses, this is the horse that will beat him.
He got only an 85 Beyer last time out, but the horse that finished last in the Sir Barton came back to win by 8 lengths with a 90 Beyer speed figure. Here's the formulator fact for King for a Day. Past 4 years, 3-year-old last out winners. Second off the layoff, non-graded stakes dirt routes. 5 for 13, 12 of 13 on the board, 286 return on investment. The number 4 is Identifier, a horse that showed some speed 2 starts back at Gulfstream, going gate to wire. Remember the short stretch at a mile and a 16th at Gulfstream. First start against winners, bit disappointing as the chalk, but he goes out for Jorge Navarro.
Right, paired up 85 Beyers in his last 2. That's a good sign. Maybe he can take a step forward, but he's going to have to take a step forward and then do even more than that against the 2 horses to his inside.
Most folks think that a Jason Service trained son of New Year's Day will win this race. Most think it will not be the 5 Direct Order, who will be trying 2 turns for the first time, and I think 2 turns is good for this horse, because to me he looks like a stayer. Last time out he was in for the 80, he altered course to the far outside, he just couldn't get to Majid, he was grinding it out. Majid came back to win, kind of a weak edition of the Easy Goer.
Yeah, but he did come back to win a stakes race. It feels like he might be a little bit of filler in this race. He's just so far he's not close to good enough to beat a stablemate.
Caladan's won 4 of 6. He's never been off the board for Anthony Pecoraro, who's been tearing it up at the Delaware meet this season. The horse he beat last time out came back to win a 1X with an 82 buyer. Here's a formulator fact for Caladan. Over the past 2 years, 3-year-old last out winners on dirt, 33% winners, 17 of 24 on the board, 250 ROI. He's got to improve.
Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been a race yet where he hasn't shown up and run, but he still hasn't run a race that's going to beat this field.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Pegasus. Maximum Security Way, the horse to beat. I'm a believer in King for a Day. I was a little worried about Maximum Security. The fans don't need me to give them Maximum Security. I'm thinking that if he is going to get beat, it is going to be King for a Day, as you say. But for me, it's 3-2, 2-3. You're going 2-3, I believe.
Yeah, I'm just going to go 2-3 in this race. Listen, will I be shocked if Maximum Security lost? I guess I wouldn't be shocked, but I'm not betting the race that way, so I'm not going to pick against it.
I would love to see Maximum Security win, go on to the Haskell, and maybe face War at Will and some of the other big names in a rematch later in the big races. It's the $150,000 Pegasus. It's the feature race at Monmouth on Sunday. You can get down with a DRF Bets account. Deposit $100 when you sign up at bets.drf.com. Bet with $250. Approximate post time for Maximum Security in the Pegasus, 5 o'clock Eastern. Best of luck.